What you're saying reminds me a lot of a process of innovation, because you're bringing something new to the equation. You believe it's good. You believe it can be as good or even better, but it needs a lot of creativity in order to be able to perform, right? So you're talking about, hey, I have this new idea. A woman can be as fast or faster than a man. Now, to prove that, we need to change certain things that haven't been thought of because there was no need for that, but now there's need. Could you give us an example of one of those things that needed to be changed, where you had to fight to be able to achieve it?
Yeah, I have plenty of examples actually, but like my engineer, I was on a test day and we were focusing on the braking, and I couldn't brake hard enough like the other guys from my team. So we had some data and we compared it, and I couldn't reach the braking pressure that they were reaching. But in my mind, there was, I had been training, and there was no explanation for me of how can I not reach that pressure. So at first my engineer said, you need to train harder in the gym. It's like, oh, I train quite hard already, but okay, I will do an extra effort on my legs. I did that. My trainer told me there's no way you cannot reach that. And we tried again, and it was the same result. So we put a GoPro camera on my pedals, and we found out that I was pressing the brake with my fingers and not with the middle part of my feet. So we made a platform. We raised my feet because usually the guys have a 43 and I am a 37. And once we raised that, it's just pure physics, but I was able to reach that pressure. Mm-hmm. So it was not a matter of strength or technique. It was just that the pedals were just made for somebody bigger, and nobody had thought about this for somebody that was as little as me. I'm a 165, so compared to these 185 guys, it makes a difference. And finally, we discovered that, but after already, it's many seasons, sometimes in testing. For when you race in Formula 2, you have 3 days of testing, but you need a lot of process and try and error to find out what the issue was. So this is just a little example of what we've had to face. And I think it has also proved me that if somebody is doing something, there's nothing impossible. You can reach that level. And I just try to find what I need to change or what I need to improve to match that or do it better. And I think that's the mentality that you need to have. And that's why I have discovered so many things that had brought me closer to be able to explode my full potential and show it.
And to work with people that are open-minded in that sense, or so that they also understand the process, because it was really easy to say that, it's because you're a woman and you're not strong enough. And probably that was not going to be the case if it was a guy that couldn't brake, because their thoughts were not, okay, he's not strong enough. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's find out what is happening.
Yeah. So in this process that you just mentioned is really interesting, because you had to challenge the culture, the perceptions of your team, of your friends, of your team, challenge the perceptions and challenge the hardware, right? So you said it, it's pure physics. So, but nobody thought of that because it was the first time that someone, and not even a woman or a man, but someone that is shorter than the regular race car driver is facing this challenge. So basically you're asking new questions to the category, to the sport, that once answered, it will be easier for everybody else coming behind you. Has one of those times also generated something in you where you had to change rules or change a politic or change the sport in a specific way in order to be able to compete?
My hands are super small, so I was at the beginning how we found this all out. I was getting cramps on my fingers, and so I started to work my forearms. They were strong enough already, and I still had those cramps, and it was because the grip of the steering wheel was too big, too thick. So I asked if I could change it to one slimmer because I needed that. And the first reply that I got, it was like, no, this is the same for everybody and you cannot change that. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, but you are impeding me of actually exploding my full potential. And plus, if I get tired, I get a cramp, it could be also dangerous. So you need to change this. And we approached the organization, we gave them the reasons, and they actually agree with me. So they homologate my change of the steering wheel. And they are also, that's why they are considering different measurements to design the next generation cars.
Okay, so you successfully convinced let's say the owners of the rules that they needed to be adapted for this new era where you have a diversity of people using the cars, racing the cars, right?